Recently, we were visited by the Mimic, so today, we're taking a deep dive to learn as much as we can about them.
Quick! Leave a like and subscribe to the channel, or else the Mimic will visit you next!
Alright, Roxanne, here we are, and we are going to be Googling the Mimic today. Are you ready?
About as ready as I can be, Gregory. Are we sure we think this is a good idea?
I mean, I think so. It's kind of stalking me or whatever. I mean, I've had multiple encounters with it now, so I can only imagine that maybe we should just try to get as much information on this guy as we possibly can, and so we don't have another, Vanny or here, the list really. Vanny, Shattered Roxanne, Evil
Indeed.
Ennard, I could really go on, but I think maybe we
Phantom
should,
Freddy.
yeah. Oh, FNAF, yep, FNAF. Okay, let's do this.
The Mimic in FNAF. Oh, interesting.
I'm sorry,
Well,
why is one of the things who is inside Vanny? Is the Mimic Vanny? Oh, you know what, we're getting ahead of ourselves, but okay.
I didn't know that the Mimic was based off of a book, it seems.
Yeah, it's based, or I don't think it's like one of the actual, main antagonists or something. I think it's just like a character that was introduced in one of the books. I'm not positive.
I see.
I could be completely just wrong about that, so I've not read any of the books.
Neither have I. We really should, given who we are and what we do, but...
Yeah.
You should
Listen,
read
we've
books,
been busy
everybody.
with Ruined DLC, okay?
Yes.
There's only
We
so
have
much
busy,
we can
busy
do.
lives.
Alright,
Alright.
I guess we should just start with who is the Mimic in FNAF. That's kind of usually
Let's
what we do.
find out, indeed. Alright, the Mimic is an animatronic endoskeleton created by Edwin Murray?
Who the heck
He
is that?
I have no idea, never heard of him, but he is the main antagonist of the epilogues and the Mimic. The third story in Tales from the Pizzaplex Nexi. It is the prior form of the storyteller. So I didn't even. Is it bad that I didn't know there were books about the Pizzaplex?
Is it bad that everything in that sentence went in one ear and out the other? Okay.
I'm the one who read it, and I don't even know anything that I just learned.
Yeah, so this is the one that I'm actually really interested in, is I've seen a lot of people talking about how the Mimic at the end, Burn Trap at the end of Security Breach, like when you fight him and everything, people have been saying that it is Mimic.
Interesting. I mean, maybe.
The thing is everyone kind of just assumed, not assumed, it's kind of obvious that it's William Afton at the end, but, you never actually, learn what's going on with it, any more lore with it, why he's there, why he's suddenly Burn Trap. So it could just be that he's the Mimic now and he has these special powers, and at the end of the day, William Afton's whole thing was that his eyes were purple and he was glowing purple.
Right.
And isn't the Mimic's whole thing purple too?
I suppose so. I mean, looking at the pictures just down below, he does have purple glowing eyes, and William Afton is saying, I always come back.
It's
so,
true.
Very, very much a possibility. So is Mimic a burn trap, Gregory?
It is heavily implied that the Mimic is the endoskeleton that would be used for Burn Trap. The only evidence is that the Mimic currently doesn't have a corpse inside of it, while Burn Trap does. This may be explained in the future. With this in mind, it's highly likely that Mimic 1 is the in-universe name of Glitch Trap. Right.
Interesting.
This is really interesting, actually, and I'm not going to pretend like I know what Mimic 1 means. Didn't know there were multiple.
Also, I don't know what it means by the in-universe name of Glitch Trap, but sure, pop off, queen.
You know what, though? At the end of the day, we aren't sure what's happening in Ruin DLC. A lot of people think that bunny glitchy thing is either going to be Glamrock Bonnie of some sort, but a lot of other people think it's going to be Glitch Trap. I feel like I'm more leaning towards Glitch Trap because it's just so weird and,
yeah, it
glitchy.
looks evil, and it really doesn't look like Glamrock Bonnie either,
I
as much as
agree.
I would love it to be, but I don't know. It's really hard to say.
Yeah, I definitely think that there's a potential that, like, if this is all true, that we could definitely be learning more about the Mimic in Ruin DLC. I've actually even
Agreed.
seen a lot of people saying that Gregory's voice in Ruin DLC isn't real, and that it might be the
Oh.
Mimic luring Cassie back into the Pizzaplex.
That is a really good point, I will say. I mean, I guess I didn't even think about it. I just assumed that it was probably you, but it could really be the Mimic.
Who
Oh, no.
knows?
All right, the next question says, what happened in the Mimic? And I think this one will be interesting, so it's talking about the movie.
Yeah.
Well, never mind. I thought it was going to tell us what happens in the book so we could have more, knowledge, but whatever.
I guess maybe should we go to like the wiki about it
Sure.
or the novel wiki? So we have the wiki and the novel wiki. I guess I don't know which one.
Either one, I assume. I mean, I think the fandom one is more legitimate. Or
Okay,
that
we'll try this.
second, yeah, this one is fine.
So this is what I'm intrigued about because I'm pretty sure this is the one that he kind of got like introduced in, but this is the one about Tiger Rock, which is also a really cool animatronic. I
Right.
love him.
And it's interesting because this is Tales from the Pizzaplex, but obviously Tiger Rock isn't currently a part of the Pizzaplex, so I wonder how many of these other animatronics there are that were meant to be in the Pizzaplex.
Yeah. Also, it's interesting right here. It says Mimic 1, also known as the Mimic.
Oh,
So I guess Mimic
okay.
1 just is the Mimic. But that also makes me beg the question, is there a Mimic 1 through 12? Like, I don't know.
Is there a Mimic 2 or 3? How many of these guys are we dealing with?
Because that's kind of important to know. I gotta be honest.
Indeed, yeah.
Oh, okay, this will be good. We can look at the actual...
Oh,
oh
jeez.
my god, the physical appearance of the Mimic.
The Mimic stands at a height of almost 7 feet.
That's quite tall.
Right. While most proper endoskeletons have a basic metal structure to allow casing to be attached, the Mimic adorns a steel frame with connected to several metal rods, ball joints, and pistons that allow it to expand and contract its limbs at will. Wait,
Ew.
are we talking about Elastigirl here? Can he just
That kid
reach
doesn't
around
have
the
any powers.
Can he reach across the room? Is
Yeah,
that
what
what
the
that
heck?
means? I'm very confused. But continuing on, I guess. Its head is rectangular shaped with white eyes that can color change to orange and black in steel
Oh.
sockets and pair of bent metal ears at the top. A small switch located at the back of the skull opens its mouth, allowing access to the circuits and wires inside. One of the workers, Gil, uses one of the wires to connect it to his laptop and upload the cleaning protocol to the Mimic. As it hurts the teens, its pupils turn completely black.
I also need you to know you said as it hurts, as it hunts.
Oh, yeah, as it hunts
Which is so
the
much
teens.
scarier.
Yeah, my apologies, sorry.
You're fine. It's just
Oh my
creepy to know that it
goodness.
hunts people, which is
Yeah, no,
I don't want to
not
say
a
that's what it's
fan.
doing to me, but it kind of feels like that's what it's doing to me.
Indeed. Let's just continue on, I think. I think we know what it looks like at this point.
Yeah. When it is sent with a batch of new state-of-the-art animatronics to the Pizzaplex, the Mimic stands out as the only one dark and discolored, as if it having survived a fire. Only its
Wait.
head still appears shiny.
Well, that supports the burn trap theory then,
It really
right?
does. Oh my, this is a lot. Edwin Murray, engineer, builds the Mimic to keep his 4-year-old son David entertained so he can get work done. You know what I'm smelling here?
Oh,
I'm
jeez.
smelling another circus baby, Evan, Lizzie interaction
Right?
kind of thing. Where it's
This just feels like William Afton when he built Circus Baby and then she killed Lizzie.
literally.
I'm going to assume that the Mimic kills David.
Yeah, the Mimic would imitate behavior it witnessed from David, such as learning to color, play patty cake, and carry around a makeshift plush toy made of lace to resemble David's white tiger plush. You know, I
Oh.
watched a movie recently called Megan with a 3, and it didn't end well. So it's kind of the vibe I'm
Yeah.
getting from Mr. Mimic here. Gotta be
Very
honest.
much so.
Yeah, don't know how I feel about Mimic 1.
Wait, but it says one day David is killed in a car accident, and Edwin is sent into a depressive fugue state for weeks. Seeing
Wait.
the mimic makes Edwin suddenly become overwhelmed with grief and fury.
This
He
also happened in
pummels-
Megan.
You're right! Wait,
the heck?
is Megan based off of
Hold
Scott
on.
Cawthon's... Wait, hold on. But Megan... Oh, different theory. The production team behind Megan, Blumhouse, is also the
Wait.
one producing the FNAF movie.
Wait, 'cause you're
do
so
you
right.
think Scott Cawthon gave them the story for Megan? Because...
Wait.
New theory.
Hold
Cracked
on.
the code.
Mimic is actually Megan and Elastigirl. Confirmed.
Literally. But look, he pummels the mimic's head in with rage.
Oh.
When he comes to his senses, Edwin realizes that it wasn't the mimic he was upset with, but himself. And he abandons the factory with the mimic inside.
Ooh, and then a quote. He, Edwin, could almost feel his murderous thoughts pouring through his muscles and transfusing through the metal into Mimic's systems.
Yikes.
That's scary.
Literally.
Oh my goodness. Months later, Fazbear Entertainment sends a small team to the abandoned factory to investigate, repair, and reclaim the in-progress animatronics made by Edwin. The team completes the Mimic by attaching legs from a different endoskeleton onto it. So that's why he looks weird. Then the Mimic comes to
Right.
life and kills each of them brutally. Oh, that took a twist. Oh my goodness. About a month later, a second team is sent and they end up meeting a similar fate. The Mimic hides in various costumes and ambushes the men, giving each a gory death as it kills them with its superhuman strength.
The fact that this thing was in our house.
Right. So, kind of a lot. I guess maybe let's just read this last thing and then let's go
Alright.
move on to some pictures, because I want to see what we're dealing with here.
The way the mimic kills is eerily reminiscent of innocuous behaviors it had seen earlier. For example, it shoves one man into a refrigerator and impales another with a coat hook, which it may have learned from watching Edwin use the refrigerator and closet.
Interesting. So
Oh,
he
boy.
literally, I mean, obviously it makes sense that he like mimics things. That's the
Right.
entire point of the animatronic. But that is kind of interesting, which also, I'm just going to go back to it really quick. Also gives me the whole idea of like, you know, Megan and everything, because when she
Right.
starts
No,
killing
100%.
things, she gets mad at the dog and realizes, oh, if I can kill a dog, I can kill humans. And like, that's the whole thing. I also just have to point out the obvious here. Megan and Mimic both start with an M.
True, you're not wrong.
Someone's got to say it.
This should be interesting because I've never seen the mimic at all, but you have. What sort of forms did you see it in? Because obviously you saw it when it looked like me.
So I saw it when it looked like you. I also saw it disguising itself as Bonbon. The thing that's interesting is that it can look like anything and sound like anyone. But it was weird when I first saw it, when it looked like
Mhm.
Bonbon, I was with Francine, and both of us could tell that there was something off about him. Like we could almost see through like the lies and deception that he was
Oh.
giving. But when he was in our house, I couldn't. Like it was basically like I was with you, but then you were kind of just acting weird and I was really confused. But
Interesting.
he did eventually come out of his form when I was with Francine, and he looked like this. He kind of looked like an endoskeleton, and he just had really scary red eyes.
And it looks like he has rabbit ears as well, so that even further supports the burn trap theory.
It really does. It's actually kind of crazy, like, how much this theory is like... Okay, so this is kind of like someone made, like, an idea of the lore. So people are
Right.
saying, obviously... One of the things also that I've been seeing people are confused about is how, because you see Glitch Trap and then obviously like you kill him in one of the games, but then the next time you see William Afton, he's Burn Trap. But a lot of the differences like on the suits and everything don't make sense, which is like
Right.
something that's interesting. So it looks like it goes, I'm assuming William. Do you know who this one is? Is this just Springtrap? I assume?
Yes, Springtrap. Yeah, I think so, yeah.
I don't know what this one is.
Scrap Trap,
Scrap
probably?
Trap, maybe? Yeah. Dead. And then into the Mimic, which is kind of interesting. So
To
the
Glitch
Mimic into
Trap.
Glitch Trap, and then Glitch Trap into Burn Trap.
Yeah. It's just a lot of different versions of him.
Yeah. Well, the thing that doesn't really make sense, though, is like Glitch Trap. Well, if it goes from Mimic to Glitch Trap, Mimic does not have a human anything on him. You know, the Mimic is very much just like, as you can tell from here, an endoskeleton. So how does it go from the Mimic to Glitch Trap to Burn Trap when Burn Trap has like an entire burned human flesh body on it? How does that happen? Like, look, this is literally. Oh, I guess. Oh no, this is the Mimic. Okay. I don't get it. If someone wants to like explain the lore to me or what they think,
please.
Let me know, because I'm confused what we're dealing with here.
Let us know anything you might know down in the comments below. Any knowledge would definitely be helpful.
Definitely, because to me it very much just looks like an endoskeleton thing. And it just looks scary.
Burn Trap definitely looks like, whoa, why is Circus Baby there?
I don't know. Also, whoa, that's insane. It's like tearing the flesh of both of them off.
That's really gross, but yes, also insane and kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, it's also just interesting though too, because I feel like if he can turn into anyone and sound like anyone, it also begs the question, if he was in the Pizzaplex the whole time, and at the end of the day, like when you go down to beat the final Burn Trap boss, like the other animatronics, like you, Chica, and Monty are all there. And they're all like coming up to you. I wonder if he's like pretending to be them at all, or if it's literally just like, because at the end of the day, I've always wondered how they got down there, because it doesn't make any sense.
Agreed. No,
it makes no sense. And I'm pretty sure they come one at a time. Like you never see them all down there in the same room at once.
So do you think they're just all the Mimic?
I don't know. And then at the end of the day, also, I'm pretty sure once you beat Burn Trap, all of them are just gone.
Right.
Which is weird and kind of suspicious, if you ask me. I don't know. I think Mimic was actually there, and I think Mimic was pretending to be all the animatronics at once and hunting you down.
It's definitely a possibility. I mean, we know some weirder things have happened at the Pizzaplex, so can't really write off anything at this point.